It is Monday, February the 3rd, and we'll call this regular city council meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everyone today. If you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Deb.
Brian.
Here.
Rodney. Jessica. Here. Don.
Here.
Kathy. Here. Harlan.
Here. We have a motion to approve today's agenda. So second. We have a motion and a second to approve today's agenda. Any discussion? Roll call, Deb.
Brian.
Yes.
Jessica. Yes. Don.
Yes.
Kathy. Yes. Harlan.
Yes. Motion carried. And across the mayor's desk, I just want to thank Brian Nelson, our videographer today. Council have anything that they would like to share? Hearing none, we'll move to update from our city administrator, Jacob.
A few items to share updates on. So we are right now advertising notice for bidders for 2025 ash tree removals. So those bids are due February 26th at 9 a.m. To remove approximately 88 trees from the city right-of-way. Park shelter reservations for the calendar year are now open. So we remind people they can book those shelters. And then we have a number of summer seasonal positions that are open that we're advertising for. I believe we're here already, but the positions open are the aquatic center manager, aquatic center assistant manager, lifeguards, cashiers, swim team coaches, and then umpires for youth softball and baseball. So a lot of different opportunities for folks out there for a variety of kind of commitment of hours with a lot of those positions. So if you're interested in one of those positions, they can contact City Hall or talk to our recreation manager, Nick Tears. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Move to agenda item number 7. This is the citizens' opportunity to address the council with any item that's not on the agenda. I'm going to come up to the podium there and let us know who you are and your address.
Good afternoon all. My name is Brian Goodman. I live out at 1410 West Valley View Drive. My wife and Diane's my wife, we moved over here 10, 12 years ago. She teaches for elementary schools, my business in Whittemore. One of us had to commute, it was always easier for me than her. So that's why we moved here. But and also I want to say, anything I bring up here, I'm here on my own. I'm not representing nobody else but myself. Okay? Well, real quick, back in 1989, I took the EMT course and passed it. So I've been in the EMT with Whittemore Service since '89. We got a great little service. We have 5 EMTs, 2 nurse exempts, and 1 paramedic in our service. So little town of Whittemore is pretty fortunate to have a volunteer paramedic to help us out. So with that, back in the year 2000, Elgona received it too. Anytime you bought a new ambulance, the county would put $40,000 matching funds into it. That's how we didn't cover the new ambulance, but it helped. So the county always did that every year, $40,000 to all the towns around. Okay, so with that, that helped us a lot, but after watching the supervisors meeting, I seen the city sent Cassuth County EMS a bill for $60,000 for dispatch services. I don't know if that number's correct, Jacob? No idea.
So we didn't send a bill. We've been discussing the current dispatch funding formula. And what we proposed to the county was adjusting that. Currently, the city pays 62%, the county pays 38%. And we had suggested a change in that, and those conversations are still
negotiating. Okay, well that's my biggest concern. I'm not sure how that's going to work because right now the only 2 towns that take any money out of the property tax levy is Elgona and Soy City. All the other ambulance services stay independent. So we don't take any of that taxation. Okay, we operate volunteers on breadcrumbs. Medicaid, as we all know, kills us. Medicare is somewhat okay, but our support in Whittemore is phenomenal. I mean, we have people, like when we built our fire station, one lady passed away, she gave us $75,000, and we put that, that's how the station started. So we have great people that give money to it. My concern is, if that 60,000 is true, is it going to be divided up between all the services or just here? See my question? I don't want to take a hit of Whittemore for that. With that, we cover Algona, not a lot, but two to 5 calls a year. We'll get paged over here when the 2 ambulances are out, because as Phil even said, Sioux County EMS would not function without volunteers. It takes volunteers to make it work. And the day of all days, and here I am talking about it, was December 25th of this year at 8:05. We got called to Algona. I was at home, so of course I get there a lot quicker than our ambulance, but we're more than happy to do that for the citizens. We have no issues coming over this way. But in return, our budget's pretty tight. We don't want to be adding money to something if we don't have to. And I guess that's my biggest concern. And I'm not sure where that's going. The charge for dispatching, you know, dispatchers there anyway, 24/7. You know, how do you put a cost on it? I have no idea.
I know, like I said, we had, a couple of years ago, we worked with the county about adjusting that funding formula. And then again here this last year, I believe that the numbers that they put together, they just looked at about call volume, city PD, county sheriffs, and then EMS, and proposed splitting it that way. How the county funds that, where the funding sources come from, you know, is ultimately that's the county's decision. You know, we're still having those conversations. You know, obviously, you know, the city, we're going to continue to pay a large portion, if not majority of that. So just when you actually look at the cost for service, reflecting as the city, 62%. You know, that answers no, and so we're trying to get that down a little bit to a more equitable share. Well, that would be the county board of supervisors have an ultimate say on the EMS budget, as well, you know, where that money comes from.
And that's one thing with the EMS budget too. You know, once in Ahmed and Whittemore, 3 of us, including the paramedic, are all above the age of 63. So, you know, it's going to be a dying deal because younger people don't volunteer because it's hard. And that EMT course is not easy. I mean, best thing I did in my life, but it's not easy. But my biggest concern is what happens down the road when this happens. That tax levy is going to have to go up like ×5 to cover the county, which isn't really the city's issue. But it's something to look at, though. I mean, it's going to be a big issue in the future. But like I said, I thank you for your time. I just want, the big concern we have is, you know, even if it gets divided out, $2,000 in our little service is $2,000. You know, so, but thank you, and anything we can do for the city as far as Whittemore coming over to cover, we're more than happy to. It's okay, we've been to Laverne before, so it doesn't really matter.
Appreciate that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move into the consent agenda, and that includes approving the minutes from our January 21st council meeting, and then we did have a work session on January 27th, so it would include those minutes as well as approving the bills that are to be paid this cycle. Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Harley, second from Don. Any discussion? Vote please, Deb.
Brett?
Yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Harley?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. We'll move into our public hearing, and it is 5:25, and we'll open that public hearing. Turn over to Jake.
All right. This is a public hearing regarding the plans, specifications, form of contract, and cost estimate for the 2025 Alberta Public Library Exterior Improvements Phase 2. What's up on the screen there is a copy of the notice that was published. The project consists of primarily installing a new exterior wall material, i.e. siding of different types of cement board, thin brick, and metal materials, but putting a new facade on the library, as well as there's proposed work on windows, handrail, lighting, utility work, and related improvements. The architect's estimated cost on the base bid was $600,000. We haven't received any comments in response to the
It's 5:26 then, we will close that public hearing and we will move to new business agenda item number 10, which pertains to the library exterior improvements project.
So bid opening on the library's project was on January 28th. This was a rebid. The project was bid last summer. We had 5 bidders at that time and prices came in much higher than anticipated. So the designs were changed a bit, trying to make it more cost-effective, more attractive to contractors. We ended up getting 3 bids, as well as with this time around, we had 2 deduct alternatives. Kingland Construction was the low bidder for the base bid, and considering that they bid alternates, but Kingland Construction at Cool City was the low bid at $734,000. The bid alternates 1 and 2. Their price was $646,000. This is still above the architect's cost estimate, and with the funding plan and funds in place have for. So the library board met on January 30th, reviewed the results of the bid. FEH, the project architect, has already had preliminary conversation with Kingland Construction on if there's, as the apparent low bidder, if there's any possible additional cost-saving measures that can be looked at. A number have been identified, but the library board at that time voted to table the decision until a later date. So those cost-saving measures can be further investigated, as well as additional funding sources looked at. So the recommendation would be to table the resolution that was prepared that would award it to Kingland Construction until the February 17th meeting. Per the bid specifications, the bid numbers are good for 30 days from date of bid opening. So in the interim, the library will work on kind of their plan for how we go about funding this. But for the time right, we didn't consider make a decision which can be formalized by the City Council at the February 17th regular council meeting. For tonight, the recommendation is to table the resolution.
So in tabling that, we're really not making any decision between the 3, although the one does appear the obvious low bidder.
Correct. We're basically just going to use more of that 30 days that we have.
Okay, I'll move to table.
Second.
We have a motion from Harley, second from Brad to table this resolution. Any further discussion? Roll please, Dale.
Brad?
Yes.
Jessica? Yes. Don?
Yes.
Kathy? Yes. Harlan?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Move to agenda item number 11. This is a resolution pertaining to the Mask Airport Consulting Agreement.
This resolution is for work order number 3 of the airport professional services agreement. It is to engineer the snow removal equipment that we just discussed at the budget workshop. This will get us through engineering and bids, I should say design and bidding for the equipment. As we said before, the FAA requires us to have an engineered specs for the tractor and snowboarder and such. It's at a cost of not to exceed $46,100.
So with this project being 90% federal funded, hence the procurement requirements, and ultimately the city will be responsible for 50% of the.
Actually, Jacob, I was wrong when I told you that we're responsible for only 5% of the engineering, they pays the 95%. So our portion would not exceed $2,305.
I guess I don't understand what's all involved with the engineering, but you'd think that new piece of equipment, all the specs would be there.
The
It'd be
engineer
fairly
says,
easy to
the
engineer.
engineer said most of the time is taken getting to the companies, you know, the John Deere's or whatever, to bid on the project, because nobody likes to bid these projects, because it's kind of a hassle for them.
Yeah.
So it's, most of the time it's contacting people, begging them to bid.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion from Mark, a second from Jessica to approve this resolution. Any further discussion?
I guess I would just note that the 10% share that we have, the sale of the current equipment is expected to exceed that, so we'll be looking at that despite having to go through this federal procurement process.
Good news. Okay. Vote please, Deb.
Brad?
Yes.
Jessica? Yes. Don?
Yes.
Kathy? Yes. Harley?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. That brings us to the end of our published agenda, and it's 5:32. I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting so that we could reconvene into our work session.
So moved. Second.
Motion from Brad, second from Don. Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everyone.